Some just idiot, stupid dog. Me and the man, we were tooling around our rich, posh, elitist neighborhood in western Kentucky. I don't know how many times I got to tell the adherents. We are situated in an obligatory place of western Kentucky, okay? We're not divulging exactly where. Just suffice to say, it's a rich, posh, elitist neighborhood. Trouble with all those kind of neighborhoods is it's expensive to live in there. You know, gas is $4.50 where we live. 4 blocks over, it's $3.29. You know, I mean, Marlboro Reds. We don't smoke, but I mean, it's like $10 where we live. 5 blocks over, it's like $7.50, and you can get a pack of horse manure cigarettes for like $1.79 or something along those lines. But anyway, so we're in our own neighborhood. We're just admiring the manicured lawns and the special ornamental small shrubs and trees with 4 ornamental seasonality, all 4 seasons. Like this guy over here, he's got a Harry Water walking stick. In the dead of winter, all the branches are curly-cued. See what I'm saying? They look like pasta. Whatever. So anyways, you get 3 blocks over, though. That's the problem. You get 3 blocks over, and they might cut your throat to steal your hanky. I mean, they might cut your throat to steal your dirty underwear off you. These people, they're all riding around in bikes, okay? It's the homeless bike brigade. All these homeless dudes got bikes. The other thing they all usually got is some kind of weird, goofy stroller that's supposed to be towing a little baby behind it, but instead it's got all their worldly possessions, all their ratty, stinky, unwashed clothes, probably a few weapons, a whole boatload of drug paraphernalia. The saddest thing is when beswitched, or whatever you say, among these ratty guys pedaling around, these homeless men on their bikes, and they also have knapsacks. They all got to have a knapsack. Always got to be pedaling in their scruffy, filthy clothes. They look like I haven't had a bath in a month and a half, and they got a backpack. The other thing is interspersed among them is always some women. They'll live under the bridge women. These women must be popular because it's like 1 homeless woman to every 10 homeless dudes. Every once in a while, the man starts drooling. He's like, God almighty, pull the car over. I got to try to save this one. This brunette is a living doll over here, this homeless girl. But anyways, it doesn't matter. The main thing I want to point out about these scruffy weirdos whose obvious life revolves around barely surviving and barely, whatever, barely able to eke out a living, because what they're really most concerned with is, of course, their drugs. Living the life of they're not transient, they don't go nowhere, so they just live right here. Well, it's kind of like they're ruining the posh elitist neighborhood or the sense of well-being. I mean, you don't have to just live in a posh elitist neighborhood. You might just live in a regular old neighborhood. But they're ruining all the regular old neighborhoods, whatever. The highlight of this trip, though, this foray, I don't know how you say it. It's like when you're exploring your foray, I don't know how you say it, out into, 3-4 blocks over from our neighborhood. You get into the rough and tumblesome, the district that has all the homeless guys in it. You see a few things. Usually you see something every single time. This time what was really, really interesting is there was 3 grubby, filthy, dirty, scrawny, skinny, homeless dudes. They all look to be right around they look like they're like 35, 37. They're probably 28 because of their weather-beaten, gnarled faces and skin or complexions, whatever you say. Anyways, these 3 skinny dudes with their knapsacks and their bicycles, they are somehow got an old ice chest. An old, I forget what you call it there, with the fancy, it's not Nathan's, it's not Branches, it's not, I forget what it is, Tasty Freeze, something along these lines. It's an ice cream cooler. And they got this son of a bitch on some kind of a dolly, and they've got a bunch of bungees and ropes, and evidently it's fallen off the dolly, and they're trying to get it back up there. They look like a bunch of Egyptians trying to tow one of the blocks over to Pharaoh's, whatever you call it there, the pyramid. I mean, these grubby boys, I don't know what they're going to do with that empty old ice cream chest. What do they, I forget what the name brand was, but it's got like the Nutty Buddy and the chocolate eclair. I forget which brand it is, but I don't think it's Tasty Freeze. It's something else. I don't even remember. But what the hell are they going to do with an old, I don't know what. Is this going to be like an addition to their home? Is this like a rich man's, box? They're going to make a second wing under their box house? But they're like scrambling like ants. You know how the ants will get together and work on a thing that's 4 times as big, is too heavy for them. They all kind of get together and all dragging along. These homeless boys, they're re-hooking up that damn ice chest to their bikes, and they're getting ready to keep on with the thing. They're towing, they're moving it, just like the whatever you would call them, the Incans and the Aztecs or the Egyptians would be towing big giant blocks, like those Irishmen went up there to whatever the circle thing, Stonehenge. These guys are getting this thing back to wherever they belong, wherever they live, under some bridge, under some underpass, behind some, in some burnout building. They're taking this thing home for themselves, and hey, more power to them. It was the most interesting thing we've seen outside of our rich, elitist, posh neighborhood. So whatever. It was, it was kind of an interesting sighting. I can't figure out what in the hell they're doing with it, what they want it for, but whatever. It's all right.